Good evening and welcome back to Clix with Q. On tonight's program, we're going to be going over the Monarch of Latveria, Dr. Doom. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Today is going to be part one of the Doctor Doom videos. I realized that there were just too many of these to do all in one video, otherwise it would be like an hour long. So for this video, we're going to do Allies of Doom, Doom-themed people, as it were, and most of the old Dooms, all of the old Dooms, and a few of the new ones, but not obviously all of them, not even close. But let's go ahead and get into it, shall we? First, we have Victorious. She was featured. I guess she became a real character in the beginning of Dan Slott's run on the Fantastic Four. And while I'm not a big fan of that run, I will say that Victorious is a really, really cool character. I really liked that he created her and introduced her to this world because she's really fun. So yeah, let's go over her stats here really quick. She has a trait, by Dr. Doom's side. Defend, but only to replace the defense of characters with Doom in their name. So that's going to be pretty useful. Throughout her dial, she's got an 18 defense, except for her last click, which is a 17. So an 18 is nothing to scoff at. And so keeping her next to Doom will, always give him that 18, which is nice. Then she has a special defense power, Impervious. When Victorious moves after resolutions, she can use energy shield deflection until your next turn. Excuse me. So that's pretty nice. Essentially, you just run in, you running shot, and then you penetrating blast somebody, and you get energy shield deflection after that, plus Impervious. So that's pretty nice. Looking at her dial here, she's got really nothing to scoff at here. 110 points for the Power Cosmic team ability and the Dr. Doom team ability. 6 range, 2 shots. 3 clicks of that Energy Shield Deflection Impervious power. Then 2 of Impervious and Invulnerability. So she's always got a damage reducer of at least 2. She starts with Running Shot, which then is coupled with Pulse Wave near the middle of her dial, which is actually a nice little touch. And then ends with Hypersonic Speed, which is also very useful because when she's on her last few clicks, you either want to get her close to Doom or kind of make a suicide run towards your opponent. But either way, very much worth her 110 points, and you love seeing those 4 clicks of 4 damage at the top there. It's a very dynamic sculpt. I like this sculpt a lot. They did a really great job with it. Not only with her, but with the energy effect and the way it kind of like crackles on the exterior of it. It looks very, very cool. Her paint is pretty decent for most of it, except for the face, which for whatever reason, WizKids has been really, really putting some like terrifying faces on their figures. Just awful. And you can see she looks. That's what she looks like she's saying. So yeah, I like this figure a lot. I give her a 9.2 overall. I'm glad she's in HeroClix, and she's a pretty great representation of the character, which is a character that I like. Mostly because I like lots of things Doom flavored. Here we've got Kristoff Renard, or as he's just called in the HeroClix, Kristoff. If any of you've read the Doom comic book, the one that came out last year, a couple of years ago, it's really fantastic. And he goes over, he gathers all of his old allies and stuff, and seeing Kristoff again is really, really great. But here he is. It looks to me like this is when he's more of not a child. Doesn't look like a child's face on him, but All right, so he's got a movement power, working from the shadows, mind control, sidestep, stealth. And then he has a defense power, you think I'm mad, stop, Impervious. When this click is first revealed, knock back all adjacent opposing characters 2 squares. So it's pretty nice. Looking at his dial here, you can see that he works pretty well with the powers that he's got there. The mind control, sidestep, stealth combination with the 11 attack and leadership is pretty nice, especially considering that he's only 75 points. He's pretty useful on a Doom-themed team, I would say, or a Latveria-themed team, as it were. He gets that stop click where he can push away people who've come up to him, and then after that, he's got his, telekinesis and sidestep and outwit, which is a nice combo, a pretty useful combo, I would say. He can be run at 75 or 40. The 40 comes after the stop click. It's not a useful 40, if you ask me. There's much more useful 40s out there. But as a 75, pretty useful. I gave him an overall 7.9. Next, we have the good old-fashioned Doombot from the Galactic Guardian set. There's really not a lot to go over here. He does have a special damage power, the real Doom or just a bot. If there's another friendly character on the map whose name includes Doom or Doombot as a separate word, Doombot can use Perplex, targeting itself. Otherwise, Doombot can use leadership and shape change. So, he's got Perplex. His first two Clix have Perplex with Energy Explosion, and then he goes down to a Super Strength Charge type thing. But the values, he's got an 8. It's not that good. And then his last click, he's got Pulse Wave, which is actually pretty decent. Would you pay 55 points for this? Certainly not. Not in today's game. But at the same time, if you decide to use them in friendly games with your friends, you could run them at, I would say, 20, 25 maybe. That, because their stats are so bad, but they do have 5 clicks. So, all right, moving on. Here we've got the new Doombot, and if anybody's been scouring the old internet, or eBay as I like to visit, you've noticed that these Doombots are ridiculously expensive. The last time I checked, one of these common Doombots, 15 points, mind you, was going for $8. $8 for a Doombot. Meanwhile, the actual Dr. Doom figure, the one with the silver ring on it, he's not as expensive as that. I don't remember what his exact price was. But it was oh, why are these Doombots so expensive? I think it has something to do with the fact that Doombot can generate them without limit. But I'm not entirely sure. As it stands, I only have 3 of them. So I just couldn't justify paying $8 for a Doombot. I couldn't do it. So they've got a special damage power. The real Doom, or for all characters with this power, when a friendly character with the Latveria and ruler keywords would be targeted by an opponent's attack or use of Outwit or Perplex, you may roll a d6. 4 to 6. That opponent chooses an untargeted 05 Doombot to become the target instead. The new target must be legal, and you don't choose a power for Outwit until after a new target is chosen. So it's pretty useful. Well, first of all, if you have a ton of these guys, you could easily pump up a Dr. Doom team to have them be distracting your opponents. I could see how that'd be very useful. Say you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6 or 7 of these suckers if your opponent allows you to go 5 points over, and a 300-point build with the 200-point line for the Cosmic Clash Dr. Doom. That would be a mean team. In fact, see if I had more of them. I just need more of them. Anyway, they're so darn expensive. Looking at his dial here, he's 2 clicks with pretty decent stats, I suppose. The running shot with 3 damages. It's very nice. So yeah, this is a highly sought after figure for its relative non-rarity. I don't know. Next we have, surprise, Kang the Conqueror. Some of you might have seen this figure in my game, the HeroClix game 2, the mountaintop. And some of you might wonder, if you've gotten this far into the video, why I haven't made one of those videos in a long time. And it's because it is redonkulously time consuming to make one of those videos. That game 2, I think it took me like 4 to 5 months to make. So it just, it's cool and it's fun, but it's not efficient. I can't be spending my time in such an inefficient manner anymore. So, you get the pinup videos. Anyway, here's Kang the Conqueror. What a beautiful sculpt. Taken directly out of his first appearance in the Avengers. Love it to death. That's not this comic on the back with his dial, because we're looking at his dial now. And we might as well go over this before we get into his title stuff. He kind of just changes. He starts with running shot and penetrating blast with some probability control, which is always nice. 18 defense, energy shield deflection, good from long range. He's got a bit of a sag in the middle with that 17 defense, but at the same time, he does have sidestep and precision strike and perplex. And then at the end there, he's looking at either just getting away from an opponent or, outwitting them and trying to do the damage. So now, and he's 80 points, by the way, with 3 shots, mind you. Looking at his title character abilities, he has, you are watching history being made. Free, generate a time portal marker in a square within range and line of fire, and that's a +1 to his plot points. So obviously he'll have to attack a character to get that. So he can't just place that for nothing. He will have to attack a character, otherwise he'll take a click of damage. His -1 plot point is time and time again. Free, place Kang the Conqueror in an unoccupied square within range that has a time portal marker, and then heal him 1 click. Pretty nice. And then he's got Kang Wars, which is -X. X is any number up to the number of unoccupied time portal markers on the map. Free, place Kang the Conqueror in an unoccupied square with a time portal marker, then give him a close or range action. After resolutions, remove that marker. Kang the Conqueror may be given this free action up to X times. So that's pretty nice. I love this figure a lot, really. The sculpt is beautiful. The dial is perfect and accurately shows. It's a really cool way of making it look like he's jumping backwards and forwards in time when he has that. He just gets to take those free attacks. It's very cool. All right. Next we have Ramatut. Oh, I couldn't leave this out, folks. Because I remember reading Ramatut. I remember reading that issue when I was like 10. And being like, this is so cool. The Fantastic Four are back in ancient Egypt. But what's that guy doing? And why is he got technology? And it literally opened my tiny little brain back then. And I really never understood how much that concept affected me. But anyway, that's a story for a different video. We have Ramatut. He's got a He's got a special damage power, Ruler of the Time Stream. Leadership, probability control. When Ramatut uses probability control on an attack roll, after the reroll, the roll is immediately finalized. A lot of rolls in there. Looking at his dial here, for 50 points, he's not bad. He's not great either, but he's not bad. He's got that leadership prob in the beginning there with penetrating blast, it's nice. And then if he gets damaged, he gets his steel energy and sidestep and more prob, except just regular prob at that point. So essentially, he's just a 50-point prob piece, if we're being brutally honest. He can do a little bit of damage if you can position him right and he doesn't get walloped first. But, you're not focusing on a whole team around this guy. All right, moving on. Next, we have Doom and Kang, and they were from the set symbol that I can't see. They're from a set, and it was a good one, because they were in it. Anyway, it's both Doom and Kang, and this is back when they had the duo ability. Remember that stuff? Wow. Obviously, I still allow them to play with the duo ability in, when I play with my friends, because, well, it's baked into their points, and it would feel not fair otherwise. And it makes them just super, super a pain in the butt to kill. Anyway, let's look at it, shall we? They have a movement power after ultimate power. Give Dr. Doom and Kang a power action. Place them adjacent to the highest point opposing character on the map, and then use the duo attack ability as a free action, targeting that character for each attack. Ooh, mean. They have a damage power, Inevitable Betrayal. When this click is revealed for the first time in a game, stop turning the dial and choose Dr. Doom or Kang. See, that was their old way of saying stop. For the rest of the game, even if this power is lost, this character now possesses the regular damage symbol, or attack symbol. And if you chose Dr. Doom, this character can use Outwit. Or if you chose Kang, this character can use Probability Control. Unfortunately, back in those days, they did not have the dials printed on the cards. So there's no way for me to show you how good they were. But suffice it to say that with the exception of 2 clicks on a 10-click dial, they always have a -2 reducer. They do at minimum 3 damage. Let's see how many. There's a lot of 4s in here. We got a 5, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 clicks of 4 damage, 1 click of 5, and the minimum is 3. Their attack stays a 10 and 11 throughout most of the dial. There's a slight dip of a 9 near the end. And they start with a 12, but, that first click is really mean, especially nowadays where you can use Running Shot and Penetrating Blast at the same time, because before you used to not be able to do that. So now that you can, that that it's going to be 5 damage of Penetrating Blast at, and then you're going to have to try to hit a 19 defense with Impervious. They're super, super good, folks. And, let's see, click 6 is when you have to choose one of them. Which is so crazy. This is such a great dial. I'm going to use them next time I play. Yeah. 6 is when you have to choose the other person, and it's okay because you eventually end up getting hypersonic speed and long-range combat expert, which is just one of my favorite powers in the whole game. Anyway, the sculpt is beautiful. You can see. Paint job is okay. It's not up to my standards, but whatever. And then the dial is really fantastic as well. So I gave these guys an 8.9. Moving on. Now we officially are moving into the Dooms here, folks. I had to give you a soft intro with Doom and Kang. Now we've got what I like to call Leather Suit Doom, or Valeria Vest Doom. So this Doom, some of you may be wondering, why is he brown? Doom's not brown. Well, there was a story in the Wade and Waringo run of the Fantastic Four, wherein Dr. Doom gets back in touch with his old lover, and I believe her name is Valeria, if I'm not mistaken. In fact, I'm almost certain it's Valeria. And so he gets in touch with her to kill her, and then use her skin to make a leather, a new armor for him, like a magical armor for himself. It's awful. So this is Dr. Doom wearing another human being's skin. With that in mind, he's got the Mystics team ability, which is nice. It's cool for him to have. It'd be nice if Doom always had the Mystics team ability, but I can see why you'd only put it on certain ones, and this one should have it, so he does. He has a special movement power, Away Nat, When the result of the attack roll in a successful attack by Doom is doubles, immediately after the attack resolves, you can put the target in any starting area other than the one used by Doom. And then he's got a attack power. Doom will not be forgotten. Doom can use Exploit Weakness and Psychic Blast. And he's got a special damage power, Powerless. Doom can use Outwit. When Doom uses Outwit, he can use it normally or choose to counter all powers or all abilities of a target character 6 or fewer squares away. 6 or fewer squares away. So, yeah. His dial is, it's, again, one of those ones that we can't put up on the screen. It's very okay. It's certainly not up to modern day standards for 249 points. I would say you could run this Doom at like 150. Well, I don't know. Maybe like 125. I think 125 would be okay for this Doom. Sculpt is beautiful. I love it. And it looks really like the drawings from that particular comic book. Paint job is good. He's got a lot of well done, detailed runes on his armor, which is nice to see. All right, moving on. We've got the 169 Doctor Doom. This one is from the Galactic Guardians set. He has a trait, C, I'm still your superior. When another character possessing the Fantastic Four keyword or team ability is KO'd, heal Doctor Doom of 1 damage. In today's modern game, now that his Doctor Doom team ability allows him to heal damage when KOing a character, essentially that's 2 clicks healed, which is nothing to scoff at. He has a special attack power. Doom will solve your problems, feeble ones. When attacking a character that another friendly character missed with an attack this turn, Doctor Doom modifies his attack and damage values +1. So, that's pretty nice. That's really the way you play this Doom, is you let somebody else attack first, and then you go. His dial is, in today's standards, again, not the greatest. I would say if you ran him at, it's hard to say, 100. I'd say 100 would be kind of fair. Yeah. Then you run him with other, Doombots and things that miss, and that makes him better, and that's kind of the point of that character. So that'd be cool. Moving on. We've got Doctor Doom on the Silver Surfer's surfboard. This is a classic story, folks. This is one of the most classic Fantastic Four stories there is. That the Surfer gets tricked and Doom takes his power and mounts his board and starts wreaking havoc on the planet. It's really classic. He's got a special attack power, Rush of Power. Doctor Doom can use either Energy Explosion or Incapacitate as if he had 3 shots. He's got that for only like 2 clicks. Really, his stats aren't all that great. Is he better than the other Doom that we just showed? Yes, but in today's realm, he wouldn't do very well. I would say that he would be probably like 150 to 125. He does have a lot of reducers. And he has, obviously, Indomitable with the Power Cosmic Team ability. And he can't be outwitted. So, yeah. I'd say like 130. But, yeah. So, and we might as well cover a few more of these Dooms here. Well, let's cover this last one. This one right here. This should be good. This is the Silver Ring, the uncommon Doctor Doom from the Fantastic Four set. And this is the one I was telling you about with the Doombots, that they're more expensive than him. So let's read into it, shall we? He's got a +5 points trait here. When placing characters during game setup, place Doctor Doom on this card and generate 2 O5 Doombots in your starting area. this game, when a friendly O5 Doombot is KO'd, you may immediately place Dr. Doom from this card into their square, and must do so if no other friendly O5 Doombots on the map. While Dr. Doom is on this card, O5 Doombots can use leadership. Pretty nice. If you have lots of Doombots. He's got another trait. My robots often confuse my foes. Leadership, Mastermind. When Dr. Doom uses leadership and succeeds, instead of the normal effect, you may generate an O5 Doombot. And it doesn't say max anything. So he can just always do that. It's I guess that's maybe why they're so expensive. Looking at his dial, it's really not the most impressive dial. Unless, of course, you're constantly generating Doombots, in which case you're giving them enhancement, which is very nice. And you're keeping this Doom safe by essentially masterminding all damage onto them. This one I think would work really well with the new, well, not the new Dr. Doom, but the Legacy card for the oldest, for the clobbering time Dr. Doom. But we'll talk about that Dr. Doom in the next video. Anyway, finishing up with this one, he can be run at 95 or 45, or alternatively, if you start him with 2 Doombots, 100 or 50. It's hard to say which one's more useful. I don't make game styles based on pogs or generatable characters. And I know that a lot of people do, and it's pretty cool, some of those strategies. I've just never had any success with rolling those 5 or 6s to get Doombots generated, or really any other type of thing for that matter. I do currently have a theory about Ultrons that I'll be testing in a game soon. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. This Dr. Doom is he's okay. The sculpt is, for Doom, it's very small and short, and I don't know. All the sculpts in this set were very, very small, except for the chases, I would say. Well, there were a few exceptions, but for the most part, they were like kind of strangely small, and this one's no exception. The paint is okay. That's really all I can say for it. It's just there. He's got like 5 different colors of paint on him. And I'm just kind of a paint snob, so. But yeah. Dial's fun, certainly, and I can see him being utilized with other Dooms to have like a wombo combo thing going on. But yes, I think that's what we're stopped for tonight, ladies and gentlemen. And tomorrow we will pick up. Well, not tomorrow, but next week. I'm sorry. We'll pick up with the rest of the Dr. Dooms, which are the cream of the crop, folks. So. I can't wait to see you in that video, and thank you for watching this one, especially if you made it all the way through. If you made it all the way through, tell me what... Well, you might as well just tell me which of these characters that I've gone over was your favorite, or which one you don't have and want, or something like that. Or you could just ignore me and not leave a comment at all. Thank you, everybody. Have a great night.